is 8:20 in the morning, day 11 of Cosmetology school. I am in quite a bit of traffic. Yesterday was Veterans Day, so that is why I only had 30 minutes of traffic. Or I guess a 30-minute ride, because that wasn't traffic. That was just a smooth sailing trip. No one was on the road. But this morning I woke up, oddly enough, when I woke up at 6 a.m., it said it was only a 30-minute drive. And I was like, is this happening? And then sure enough, by the time I got dressed, it jumped to an hour and 20 minutes. And I was like, wow, okay, let me pick up the pace. And then by the time I got in the car, the drive was back down to 55 minutes. That's how crazy it is. And that's kind of where it's been since I've been in the car. So it's not bad, not terrible. The GPS has been helping me out and rerouted me twice to try to find a quicker route. So we'll see. But I'm projected to arrive at 8:55, which is right on time. Good news, I finished chapter 5 yesterday in the Foundations Milady book, which is infection control. That is a very, very, very in-depth chapter. It is intense. And chapter 6 is chemistry. So I just started chapter 6 this morning. I did an hour this morning listening to the audio book while just brushing my teeth, getting my hair done, doing my hair, and things like that. But infection control, that is a beast of a chapter. It is a beast of a chapter. The quizzes, you can take the quizzes as many times as you want. They're not timed, but they will give you different questions here and there every time you take it. Sometimes you'll get the same set of questions, but sometimes the next time around they'll throw in a curveball, and it's interesting. And I guess I don't have my textbook, so it's hard to go back and forth and try to find answers. But I guess I could just use the ebook and toggle back and forth between the screens. But I have been attempting to test my knowledge so I don't look at the book when I'm taking the quizzes. Because I'm also just trying to practice taking multiple choice tests and trusting my gut and just going with the response that makes the most sense. Because when I take the state board exam, I won't have a book. So I'm trying to just get in the habit now of reading a question, looking at the multiple choice options I have, and making the strongest choice. And so far on most of my quizzes, I am getting between 90% to 100. That's been my average. With infection control, I told y'all that those first couple of quizzes, 0 right. And that was the warm-up. That's without reading anything. You haven't read any chapters. They want to test how much you already know. 0. Nothing right. That's terrible. And then after reading, I was getting like 70%, 80%. And I could just be good with the 80% because they take your highest score. But I want to at least get a 90 and up. So that's when I just kept retaking the quiz. I took one quiz 8 times. Jesus. But after taking all those quizzes, when it was time to take the final exam for chapter 5, I got a 19 out of 20. So that let me know, okay, taking all those quizzes really locked it in the head as far as knowing certain things. Like the procedure if you're doing someone's nails and you accidentally cut them and there's blood involved? Like, how do you go about cleaning and disinfecting this space? Washing your hands between every client, disinfecting the area between every appointment, knowing which tools you can reuse and which tools need to be thrown out. It's a very in-depth chapter just about bacteria and fungus, and so many pictures in the book. Ringworms, parasites, head lice. There is so much. There's so much. So it's definitely an important chapter, and you can tell it's the most important chapter. Each chapter has like a vocabulary word list where they kind of emphasize certain words in terms that are actually either going to be on the test or going to be used. And each chapter has about 5 to 10 vocabulary words. Chapter 5 had 64 vocabulary words. And they give you flashcards at the end for you to read through each one. So I'm definitely, hopefully we have access to the online version while we're studying for the state board exam, because by the time I'm ready to take the state board exam, I have to get over. Please let me get over. Come on now. Be a good person. Be a good person. I totally did not realize I had to get over. But yeah, if not, I'm just gonna make sure I go through each chapter and study like crazy. One thing I have been doing is copying and pasting all the quizzes and the correct answers into a Word document so that I can just have them as like a study guide, just in case I don't get anything like that. But at the end of this online course, they give you a final exam as well. So I'll have those questions to just read through and just study. It's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot. But like I said, my goal is to pass this test on the first go round. I am not playing games. I think the test is like $125. So like I said, I can't be giving you guys all my monies. So yes, if you are studying, chapter 5 is Big Mama. She is. So today in class, I believe we will still be focusing on nails. Yesterday we did facials, basic facials, but today I think we go into, I want to say acrylic nails, and then tomorrow is gel nails. I don't know. I just go in ready for whatever the lesson is going to be of the day, and then we get to it. But that is the gist of my recap for, at least for now. I think I said that you can log in on the app or on the phone. The online version has an app, so you can log in on the phone or on the computer, on the tablet. And yesterday in class, we had an extra 30 minutes at the end after cleaning up. So I logged in and got some work done. So it's nice to know that having my tablet, I can, log in and take a quick quiz or read a chapter here and there, instead of like trying to come home and get 3 hours done at once, or get 2 hours of studying done at once. For instance, this morning, I listened to the audiobook. That was an hour. So when I get home, I'll spend an hour doing quizzes and probably another hour, 30 minutes reading before bed. now I've clocked in 3 hours today, and I didn't have to do them all at once. So, little tidbit for efficiency for anyone who's either doing the online version or just studying in general. I do better when I can break things up. I can't just sit in front of a book for 3 hours, and then when the final exam comes, like I heard one student say, I've got to do like 6 hours a day to catch up by graduation. So that let me know that some people were not necessarily slacking, but you probably missed a few days of studying. You probably missed a few days of reading your book, and now it's crunch time because you're getting closer to graduation and you don't have your 500 hours of theory. So I want to make sure I am not in that boat, so I want to stay dedicated to my 2 to 3 hours a day, no matter what, and breaking up the hours so that I'm more likely to get them done. For instance, if I come home and baby's sick, I might not study that evening, but if I got some hours done this morning, I'm never really too far behind. So that's my logic. But I've got about 30 more minutes of driving, 25 more minutes, so I will be listening to a podcast and just getting my head right for today's session, and I will update you later. Right? Hello, and that is a wrap on day 11. If you can notice, my makeup is gone and I have a clean face because I got a free facial in class today, which is amazing. And I also fell asleep. I always fall asleep during massages or facials. Like, I don't need to be up. That is the perfect time to take a quick nap. But the esthetician program and the cosmetology program, we work together and we volunteer for each other. So some of the cosmetology girls will get facials so that the estheticians can practice if they don't have someone coming in. And then on the flip side, some of them can come get their hair done or get their nails done for free. So we get to work on each other for free in the program. Which made me think, okay, I can actually go to that program and, get volunteers anytime I want to try something new, or ask any of them if they are interested in getting anything done. I can't perform services on people technically until I'm a sophomore, which I believe is 200 or 300 hours. But one of the girls was like, yeah, I definitely want to trim, so I referred her to someone else who is definitely a sophomore already and has worked on quite a few people so far. So I think she's fully prepared to give her a snip. But today's focus was nails again. We focused on acrylic nails and nail tip blending, and prepping the nail for the tip application. You're pretty much doing a Russian manicure or a waterless manicure before you apply nails, especially gel X nails, just to make sure that the nails are clean and you're starting off with a clean slate before you start to load tips and acrylic and gel on top of them. So that was fun to see. After watching a few people put on sets, because I don't have my kit yet and I'm still just witnessing, which I'm not mad at, because one of the students in our class, she is actually already a nail technician. So she's just in class to get her cosmetology license. She already has 700, so she's just here to get an additional 300 so that she can do hair. So nails has been her career. So on the days we do nails, she actually will do the nails on someone and kind of show us how she does it. So I sat up close and personal with her, and she gave me a step-by-step of the Russian manicure, the waterless manicure, okay, and how to put on gel X nails. And then we did a few samples on a mannequin hand with the acrylics to show how to do the acrylic and what to mix with. And I'm actually excited to at least put the gel X nails on myself again, because like I said, I don't know that I necessarily want to do other people's nails, but I love getting my nails done. I love having my nails done. I don't like getting my nails done and my gel X nails don't last. So I'm like, are you girls not learning properly in school, or are you just skimping out on me, or do you just want me to come back in 3 days because the nail has popped off? But I would love to be able to just do my own nails and save $100, because I really don't need or want anything extra. I do hair pretty much for a living, and I type on the computer. I do a lot of things in that way too, so I don't need a lot of bedazzle and bejewels going on. I really just need something simple and clean and classic, and that's something I feel like I can do myself, as long as I just learn the proper application, and that's what I'm learning now. But I would not mind offering nails. I don't know, I wouldn't mind doing it. I wouldn't mind. I am nervous about the cuticle situation, pushing back the cuticles, cutting the cuticles. I don't really want to have to do that, because I just don't want to cut anybody, because I've had my cuticles jacked up before. So I do have a fear of that, just harming anyone. But putting on nails and doing something very simple, I wouldn't mind doing that. I don't know why I'm yawning. I just took a nap. But yeah, that was pretty much class today. And then after I watched her do the acrylics and the gel nails, then the esthetician girlies came in and were pretty much asking anybody if they wanted to volunteer. All the girls had on a fresh set of makeup, so they didn't want to volunteer. And I didn't really want to volunteer either. That wasn't, I was like, no, you know, I just put on makeup, I'm fine. But once I saw nobody else was gonna volunteer, I was like, what the heck, just sure, clean me up. But I think she did a good job. My face looks fresh, my skin looks revived and rejuvenated. She did a good job. It looks moisturized. She said I have really good skin, and that I didn't really have any issues. So it was a pretty easy facial. So I guess that's good to know. I do try to take care of my skin. But that is the day. I believe tomorrow we're focusing more and more in depth on gel X nails. I think I'm gonna bring my gel X nail kit, because I do have one, and put my nails on. I got my textbooks today, fresh in the wrapper. I'm still missing one book, which is the exam prep book, but so far I have the Milady Foundations book and the just regular textbook. It's in the back seat, but I took a video of it in plastic in the class. So I'm happy that I'm getting closer and closer to getting my kit. They said I should get my kit tomorrow, if not next week. We'll see. This is life. But I'm just happy I at least have my textbooks, even though, I mean, it's great to have physical textbooks, because I can, you know, highlight and do things like that. But I do have the ebook online for the online version, so I do have a textbook I have access to. And that's about it. I don't really have any deep updates. Today was not that busy, and I can't expect every day to just be super busy. I got 2 free avocados from Miss Bella's avocado tree at home. So that's lovely to have some homegrown avocados. But yeah, that's my day. I'm going to go inside, relax for a little bit, just decompress, and then I'll probably get to studying. I completed an hour and 20 minutes so far today. I did an hour this morning. I did 20 minutes during the last 30 minutes of class, just waiting around. Took 2 quizzes, passed them. And yeah, it's just knocking out the pages, knocking out the quizzes, and locking all this information in your brain. I'm on chapter 6 right now, which is chemistry. All fun stuff. Oh, so fun. I'm so excited about chemistry. So yeah, learning about mixing chemicals and not mixing chemicals, and learning where to store chemicals, learning to put chemicals back in their original containers, learning how to dispose of said hazardous chemicals. So all this is very deep stuff that I know is very important. So I'm just trying to make sure I learn and retain all this information so that I don't burn anybody's scalp off or hand off, or worse. Thank you for listening if you are still here, and I will see you tomorrow.